Welcome to another episode of Mental Health Mondays. It is the new year, 2023, first week of the new year. Usually I say week of whatever. It's the week of January 1st. January 2nd is the day this drops. So, welcome. Congratulations on making it through the holidays. I know it could be stressful time. It's usually a good time, hopefully. I had a great holiday season. And Happy New Year, all that shit. Hope this year is better than the last, and every year after that, even better. Yeah, dude, I had such a good Christmas break. I act like I'm in high school still. I had such a good Christmas, holidays, all that stuff. Went to Georgia to visit my family. My mom, my two sisters are down there now, and my niece, of course, Reggie Rue. And their dad was there too, so it was good. It's good to see family. It's usually just me, my mom, my sister, Kate, and my niece, and the dogs. But this year we had my other sister, Megan, and their father as well, with Megan's dog and a new baby puppy that was their father's Christmas present. So it was a little chaotic at times, but it was good. It was good chaotic. It's funny because when you're there, I mean, like, I enjoyed every second. I don't want them to watch this and think I'm bad-mouthing it at all. I didn't want to leave. It was fantastic. But it's funny because when you're there and it's loud and the dogs are barking and everyone's yelling at each other, like in a happy way, it can be a little much, you know? And, like, I had to step away at times, which makes me feel, I don't know, in the moment I felt kind of shitty about it and shitty about myself for being anxious for being around my family. That was kind of ridiculous. I think some family dynamics that would make sense, but, like, I am so close with my family and, like, we have such a good relationship that I felt almost weird that I was feeling that way. But in the moment, I did feel a little bit anxious at times, and now looking back, it's like, you know, not that I wasted time being anxious, but, like, any time spent being anxious was unnecessary. And looking back at the memory of it, it was only positive. So it's just kind of one of those built-in life lessons of, like, just be in the moment, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be at that time. And it was great, though. It was really, really great. Savannah, Georgia is a very beautiful, beautiful city. It's funny to go from that back to L.A. because, I mean, there's homeless people in every city and stuff, but just the juxtaposition of, like, this, it's very clean there. It's not trash everywhere. Very few homeless. They seem to have a good grasp on, like, dealing with it, and also just their population isn't nearly as large. And then as soon as I get back to Los Angeles, like, on the Uber ride home, just see, like, people smoking meth on the side of the road and, like, trash everywhere. It just, like, it was a bummer because, like, it doesn't need to be that way. I wish it wasn't that way. I feel for these people. And also, on the selfish side of things, like, it's not something you want to be seeing every day and, like, have to deal with and be around, especially when you think of, like, the cost of living and things in Los Angeles versus other places. It's a little ridiculous. And I really hope that, I don't know, I hope that problem changes because, again, these are people, these are human beings whose lives, I mean, that's not a life, really. That's not no one deserves that. And obviously there's different reasons that cause it, decisions and circumstance, but a lot of it is mental illness as well. So I don't know. There's a whole litany of problems. I'm not going to get into that stuff, but, like, just going from one city to another and seeing just how bad the problem really is was kind of jarring when I got back, and it made me a little melancholy, like, kind of like, oh, I wish I never left. Not, you know, I'm happy with my life here. Obviously had to get back into the swing of things, get back with my girlfriend because she spent the holidays in New York. All that stuff was still there, but part of me was like, God, I wish I never left, or I missed them so much. And then took a little nap when I got home, woke up from the nap in my space and was like, okay, yeah, this is my home, so to speak. Because that's another thing. It's like I'm not from Georgia, so those other aspects of going home for the holidays aren't there, seeing, like, friends and stuff too, or just, like, being used to your surroundings. It's all, like, foreign to me because I've only been there a handful of times, once a year since they've moved there, which has been like 4 or 5 years now. Actually, I don't even know. I don't know, 3, 4 years. regardless. But I really enjoy it, and I enjoyed my time there. It was the best. It's a good reset. Seeing your family is always a good reset. It just kind of puts into perspective the reason you're doing the things you do, whether that be your career aspirations and your goals and stuff, or also just like maybe habits you have or the way you go about things, the way you think about things, the way you communicate. So it was a good reset button to kind of start the year off or end the year. Just seeing them, people I love the most, and just good vibes. Obviously, like tension here and there about certain things, but it's just natural. It's just like part of being in a family. And also, I'm just a reminder of how grateful I am to have that opportunity and to have family, because it's not as rare as you might think that people don't have that system around them, or that that group of people that they can go home to on the holidays. So I'm certainly not discounting how lucky and how blessed I am to have that situation. Boom, TikTok 1, done. See, for the people who actually listen to the podcast, I'm trying to remind myself of little snippets of things that I could actually post to social media, because I hate doing it, dude. Oh, this whole thing's a big charade. I'm a big phony. No, I have to make sure that I'm posting shit. And now when I listen back, I can actually listen and hear TikTok 1 done and be like, oh, shit, perfect. I'm not going to do that every time, but that was just a reminder to myself and being transparent with you. Yeah, family's best. It was good. New year, new me. No. New year, same me. Adjusted slightly me. New goals, same goals. New drive, re-driven drive. I guess my New Year's resolutions are kind of the same as they always are. Lose weight. Gained way too much weight over the holidays. Ate 515 chocolate chip cookies. Had just like heavy cream-filled dinners every night at home, and it was excellent, and I don't regret a second of it. It's the holidays, whatever, let yourself live. But definitely lose weight. I got to get back in the gym again. I'm very inconsistent with that stuff, up and down. You know, my weight always fluctuates like 15 to 20 pounds every few months. And I feel like in some ways I've actually gotten more self-conscious about it as I've gotten older. I used to not care. I don't know if that's backwards or if that's what most people experience. I guess another one would be, I got to quit the vape. Got to put it down, dude. I guess they're banning like flavored shit in a lot of places anyways. Not that has anything to do with my decision. But just in general, not good for you, obviously. And truth be told, I don't want to, because I enjoy it. And even though I know it's bad for me. It's like the one crutch I have left. I don't smoke weed anymore. I barely drink anymore. Not really by choice, but just by like lifestyle change, I suppose. Relatively speaking, I do eat healthy most of the time, but that could obviously get better. But that's like my one real crutch, I feel, as far as like a tangible like habit or something that I do that's like not good for me. And that doesn't seem that bad when you think about it, but just in general, it's like I just want to improve my lifestyle, improve my overall health, because I'm a big believer in how much that affects my mental health. Plus, you read all these numbers and studies of like how badly it affects your anxiety and depression. The very obvious, like being addicted to anything is going to make you more anxious about that thing specifically. But just in general, the fact that you're raising your heart rate constantly, all that stuff, it's bad. It's worse than when I smoked cigarettes, because when I smoke cigarettes, there's this whole aspect of like stepping away and like smoking a cigarette and then going back. Whereas the vape is constantly in your pocket or in your hand, and at any second you can kind of like, I don't know, get what you want from it. It's bad all around. Not shaming anyone that does. I highly recommend you try to stop too, because it's not good for you. But certainly there are worse things, but it is something that this new year, 2023, I'm trying to get out of my life. And I've done it before. I've quit before. That's the frustrating part. Same thing with like working out. It's like I've been in a good place where I'm working out consistently, eating healthy for months even. And I feel good about myself. It helps my mental health, all that stuff. And then like slowly I fall back to old habits, and then I become like okay with just not doing any of it. I noticed that about I know I talked to Zach about this. Shout out Zach if you're listening, buddy. That I have a very all or nothing mentality on almost anything. Even like relationships, I've noticed that like, especially in the past. Now I feel like I've got a better balance of putting time into a relationship with someone and still putting time into yourself and like your goals and your life. But in the past, it's like I get fixated on one thing and I put everything into that. Even with like my hobbies and like like if you see like all the pop dolls around me, they were all purchased within like a month and a half of each other. I haven't bought one since then, and I like them. I like cool collectibles and all that stuff. I always will. That's fine. But it's just funny because like I can't even imagine going to buy one now because I like all kinds of nerdy shit. I want one from everything, and that's where I got like. And then I have to complete the set. If I get Batman, I have to get Robin, and if I get Robin, I have to get the Joker, and if I get the Joker, I have to get other villains. That tends to be my mindset on almost everything. So, as far as like working out and eating healthy, like staying consistent, I guess maybe that's another New Year's resolution of mine is staying consistent. Because I have such an all or nothing like mindset, and in some ways that can be beneficial, but it's very easy. It's like you burn so hot and like rocket forward. Eventually, it's gonna die out. Versus like building a consistent process for yourself that works for you. So that's something I definitely need to get better at this year. And also, side note, I know some people kind of think that New Year's resolutions are a bit hacky or like, I don't know, like played out kind of bullshit. I understand. Sometimes I think that way, but also I think that being able to hit the reset button and like take an inventory of what you want to do to improve your life and like further pursue your goals. I don't think that's a negative thing. It's a positive thing. So fuck you if you don't like New Year's resolutions. I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, what we got? We got lose weight, gain too much weight over the holidays, eating everything in sight. I was drinking a lot too, which is funny. My mom's sober. My sister drinks a little, but not crazy. But I drink like every night. 2 would be quit the stupid fucking vape. It's bad for you. It adds no positivity to my life, even though I do enjoy it and like it. It's only bad. 3, I guess now I just added practice consistency in everything. Because, again, I've achieved these goals that I'm talking about before, but remaining consistent about them is the big struggle. What are other things I want to do this year? I mean, I want to I don't know if that's a resolution or just something I want to do. I want to play 10 at least. I don't know if that's a lofty number or a small number, 10 shows. I got to do one first, and I keep talking about it on here. I think I got to stop trying to like make sure that the first one is like perfect. I just got to get out and start playing. I have to keep rehearsing, which is time consuming, and I love it, but it is a whole nother thing aside from making new music and stuff. So I want to perform at least like 10 times. I'd love to do the Rochester Jazz Festival because that's where I'm from, Rochester, New York. It's a huge jazz festival. It's awesome. It's like one of those small things from a small city that everyone in the city is, no pun intended, pretty jazzed about. Everyone loves the Jazz Fest. And I played there before in high school and stuff, so it'd be a cool moment for me to come back. I also haven't been to Rochester in years, so I'd love to go home. I also want to play the Savannah Jazz Festival because I just found out it exists, and it'd be a good excuse to go see my family and perform where they can come see me. So that'd be cool. I want to. Well, I'm gonna release a ton of new music. That's not I want. That's I'm gonna. It's really shitty because albums are not a thing anymore for an independent artist. It's very difficult to like release an album and get recognition or get the like numbers and stuff that you kind of need or want on them. Even though for me as a consumer of music, I prefer an album. Like since the beginning of time, I'm not one like when I get a new album or an artist I love, drops a new album, I don't like pick a song on the list. I always listen, from start to finish, because there's a reason why these songs are placed in this order, and it's a whole body of work. It's like a movie versus you wouldn't watch 10 minutes of a movie. You don't turn on Goodfellas just to watch the funny house scene. I guess maybe. But at least at one point that wasn't possible. So that's why it's different now. And now you have the ability to pick any song, anytime, anywhere, which is good for its own usage. But it sucks because that's as a fan, but as an artist as well, I feel like I would prefer to make a longer body of work because I can express more of what I'm trying to get across in multiple songs rather than just one. And something we tried to do with April '94 was, it literally lasted a month, was like release a few different songs spread out, so like they act as singles in the sense that it's not too much for people to pay attention to at one time, but they all fall under one, like an album, or an EP or whatever, a playlist. So that's something I might consider doing again. It was kind of a clusterfuck because of the way you have to release things, and then, like, I don't know, it's a little much. I think you're only allowed to release a certain amount of singles for an album. So if you release, like, say I wanted to do a 5-song EP, and I wanted to release all of those songs as singles, I don't think you're, like, allowed to do that. So I got to explore that a little more, but regardless, even if not, I guess it doesn't really fucking matter, except to my own vanity of being an artist, where I'm like, I want it to all be one album. Doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna put something out by the end of January, guaranteed. What? I don't know. There's about 6,000 options, and none of them are finished, because that's another thing, another New Year's resolution, just being a person in general. I need to get better at just finishing songs and not starting new ones over and over again. And I know why I do it. It's a procrastination thing. It takes more time to really fine-tune a song and make it into a listenable thing, other than just a bunch of ideas that I have down that I can hear in my head where they could go, but making it sound like it does in my head is the difficult part. And I definitely, like, shy away from that at times because it's like, I don't know, because I need to get better and more disciplined about my craft. So new music on the way. I would say another thing I want to do this year is I want to play saxophone every day. At least for 5-10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Once a day, every day. Make sure that I'm picking up the horn and playing. John Coltrane is my favorite saxophone player, which is kind of a lame answer, but it's true. There's no fucking way there was a day in his life from the time he picked it up to his early demise that he didn't play his horn. And he is 6 trillion times better at the saxophone than I will ever be. So where do I get off not picking it up every day? And that goes for keyboard and guitar as well. But, like, when I'm making music, I get in the studio pretty much every day now. I've been better about that. And when I'm making music, both of those instruments get touched no matter what, just because that's the way I produce and stuff. But I'm talking about just playing to play and rehearsing a little bit and, like, practicing. I feel another thing is, like, the performance aspect of it. I'm kind of stagnant or expressionless, kind of, when I play sax. And I think it's because I'm so focused on wanting to, like, on what I'm actually going to play that, like, it looks a little stale. And because I'm going to be doing more live shows and, like, more live sessions and stuff, I got to make it look a little more interesting. And it doesn't mean I have to be, like, dancing around like I'm, one of the 4 Tops or something like that. But, like, just allowing my body language to show a little more expression. And I feel like that comes with total comfort with the instrument. And I'm probably one tiny sliver below where I was when I was at my best with the sax. Although I feel like every day I'm getting better. Or I don't know. There's probably a period in college where that was the best I ever was, because I was playing more consistently in a jazz group. And now it's like I kind of just play what I want to play as far as the new music that I'm making and stuff. So I don't don't really know where I'm going with that. I don't know. Just more consistency with practicing. If you're a musician, you have to practice. That's something that I've struggled with my entire life as a musician. I've always kind of relied on my natural talent for it, and that can only get you so far. Why did I say that like that? That can only get you so far. That can only get you so far. You got to practice. You got to be dedicated. You have to be disciplined. All of these things kind of all tie into a greater theme of discipline, everything I'm saying. I suppose that's the real resolution of this year, is just practicing discipline in everything that I do, while allowing some space for this free-spirited, go-with-the-wind side of me that I do cherish and appreciate. Also, side note, actually not a side note, I'll just segue that into the next thing. The podcast is going to have some vast improvements. The audio is going to be way better. I got, for Christmas, I guess I feel weird admitting it because, like, I'm an adult. Remember, I talked about sending like what I want to my mom. Felt so weird. And on that, I had a microphone, never expecting that she would ever do this because it's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, I got a new mic, the SM7B7. It's behind me. Ew, my fucking no self-harm talk, no bad self-talk. But my love handle definitely just poked through my shirt when I turned around. Anyways, new mic, better audio quality, and I'm going to fuck with the set a little bit. Where I am right now, whether you're listening to this, which is now an option because the podcast is now on everything, or watching it, where I am right now, in a nice chair, but I have like a little like table, like work table desk thing behind me. I'm going to swap that because the new mic will come over right across the table, and I'm going to be sitting at the desk. You know what I mean? Maybe with like some like sheets of paper with shit on it to talk about so that I don't just spew nonsense the whole time. I don't know. But overall, just the quality of the content will improve because that's what you got to do. Got more lighting. That's where this all started. This might look terrible. I haven't really tested it out because I just got home a couple days ago from the holidays and stuff, and I ordered some new lighting and shit, new tripods and stuff. So this might look terrible. I might have to adjust it because I have two lights on me, and it's very bright in my eyeballs. But in general, just excited because the podcast will be improving in each and every way. Going to have some guests soon. Now I have the capability of it because I'll have more microphones. And everyone's phone is a 4K camera now, which is very beneficial. And another thing I'm going to start doing is, I released the Pissed Off Waltz live session, which was sweet. Didn't get seen by many people, but it was sick. And I realized I just needed to be doing that. I need to be doing that way more often, but it doesn't have to be so produced. I could do 1 or 2 a month in my studio, though it's small and I don't have much room. So, and I have my phone. I have a really good digital camera that I never use. And I have a GoPro that we bought in 2012 that, I mean, it's old and shitty, but it's another camera and it'll add another aspect to it. So just setting up 3 different angles in here and having like a full jam session of one of my songs or a new song or just a jam session. Uploading those twice a month or once a month. At least once. Got to start somewhere. So at least 1 a month. You know, I'm just trying to improve. And this, like I said, going to my family's, I wonder if you feel the same, if you got to see your family. It really does kind of reignite a certain flame under me, at least. Because I look around and I'm like, I love my family so much. And I love my girlfriend so much. And she's my family now, too. But just specifically speaking of my family, people who have been there since I was a little babe, I know that they're the reason that all of this was possible up to this point. And I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to how much I love and care about them if I didn't push with everything I have to attain what I want in my life, career-wise. And It's funny because they don't really give a fuck. It's not that they don't support me; they support me eternally. But they just want me to be happy. But I know that the only way that I'll be happy doesn't necessarily have to do with actually achieving the goals. But knowing that I'm putting my all into everything is what makes me personally most happy. It's when I feel most at peace with myself, when I'm giving everything I have and I have nothing left on the table, and I know that at that point it's out of my hands because I've put everything I have into this thing. And so it's always good seeing them because it's kind of a reminder of that. Not that I haven't been doing that, but it just adds another little nudge, another like push in my back of, see, this is why you're doing this to begin with. And you love this, and it's all you want. It's there for the taking. It might seem impossible at times, but it's not. And if you truly believe in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. So it was good. That was one of the best things that I got out of going home was that feeling. And, I'm ready to definitely push even harder this year. Because I need to. For my own sake. Again, it doesn't need to be all about the goals part of it as far as like actually achieving them. It's much more so about the fact that I am so blessed. And it's another thing with everything that Jay is going through. It's like I am so blessed to be of healthy, sound. Okay, let me start over. Of like healthy, but I'm healthy. Okay, overall, I'm fucking healthy. I might be a little wacky upstairs. That's okay. We're constantly working on that. That's okay. But I have no excuses at all to not be putting my all into everything. And again, with what Jay's going through, it's a reminder of that. It's like you can see how much it affects someone when they aren't healthy, when they aren't in good health, and when they don't feel they have what it, just the baseline, like feeling good enough to get what, like, I don't know how to explain it because I don't want to make it sound like she's not pushing herself in every way because she is. But what I'm saying is, like, there are times where she can't because she's not in good health. And I don't have that excuse. So who the fuck am I to not push with everything I have? And so that's what I'm going to do. And again, just like with working out, just like with quitting the fucking stupid vape thing, I go through periods of time where that's my mindset and nothing can stop me. And then something stops me. Something puts a little hitch in the plans, and it's like, I don't know if I feel defeated or what. I don't know. It just takes a back seat. And then that's when the negative mental health starts for me, where it's like, you're a fucking loser. That's, again, I'm not talking about myself poorly. You shouldn't. Always be positive about yourself. But when I'm going through these stretches, it's a lot of self-hatred of like, you're a loser, like you're lazy, you'll never be anything because you don't put enough work in. And so I know that for my own sake, my own happiness, I need to keep putting work in. And also, again, whether just be, maybe this is some superficial, stupid reason, but even then, it's still good motivation for me of, you have no excuses. You have no fucking excuses. So, and neither do you if you're listening to this. I don't know your circumstances, but even the things that you could use as an excuse aren't an excuse. People have been through harder. People have been through worse. People are going through harder and worse right now. And you have no reason why you can't go out and get what you fucking want from this life. And so go do it. Go do that shit. Go do it. Whatever it is, go do it. You got this shit. New year, all that. That's fine. But this is 1 year of hopefully 50 more you have left in your life if you're blessed. Or whatever it is. If it's 10 more, if this is your last year, wouldn't you want to spend it spreading as much love as possible, receiving as much love as possible, and pushing and doing the things you love and the things you care about? That's all we have. That is literally all we have. So that's what I'm going to do today, tomorrow, the next day, and every day that I have the chance to. And, along the way, you try to learn how to balance things because that can turn into something very self-serving. And it shouldn't be that. but you should also cater to yourself at the same time. And that's a really tricky thing. I don't have the answer for that yet. And I don't know if anyone does. But again, in the past, I've been all or nothing into whatever it was. And now I'm getting to a little bit better of a place where I drink coffee. So I'm burping again. I'm fucking gross. Sorry, that's really gross. I've gotten to a place where I am better with balancing. All right, being a good partner, being a good in my relationship, and that takes two, because as much as I try my best to be a good partner, the other person has to be a good partner, which I'm blessed that I have one. And they have to understand where you're at in your journey, whether that be with your mental health, your physical health, your career, your family, outside shit that has nothing to do with that person other than the fact that you guys are together. It takes two to tango. You need to support each other always. Again, I'm blessed that I have that. But there are times where I haven't had that, or I haven't felt like I had that, and that's where I would go off the rails a bit and put my all into the person, nothing into myself, nothing into my mental health, nothing into my career, and then resent the person for that as if it's their fault, and it's not. That's completely on me. And so, again, I've gotten better at balancing that, but it is a balancing act. So sometimes you tip a little this way, and you just got to make sure that you can pull yourself back this way. And I'll continue to do my best. That's all you can do. Again, all you can do is do your best at every fucking thing you do. Everything you do. Love hard. Work hard. Play hard. Enjoy hard. Cry hard. Laugh hard. Do it all to the fucking maximum. And squeeze every little last ounce of juice that you can out of this lemon of a world that we live in. And it is a beautiful place, but there are some fucked up things going on, and it's crazy. And again, back to the you don't have any excuse. You don't have any excuse, I promise. I just listened to the most fucked up thing about the cobalt mines in Africa, where we get all of the cobalt needed to create rechargeable batteries in our smartphones, our tablets, our laptops, our computers, our electric vehicles. And there's just thousands of impoverished people, men, women, and children, with no tools, maybe a hammer, smashing into the ground, releasing toxic chemicals in their face, going into mines that are unsanctioned and don't have any sort of regulation to them, all while being surrounded by armed militias that make sure that they continue to work for $1 or $2 a day. And you listen to someone who knows about this talk about that, or you put yourself, not even put yourself in their shoes, you literally can't, but you just imagine what these people go through on a day-to-day basis, and that's one of those sobering moments of, what the fuck am I complaining about? Honestly, what the fuck am I complaining about? I'm upset that by the way, it is annoying if you have kept up with the podcast. My fucking ceiling's still leaking every time it rains. It's ridiculous. Now they tried to fix the roof, made it worse. There's a new leak. Unbelievable. But anyways, I'm upset about that. But tomorrow I'm going to wake up in a really nice apartment, have a delicious breakfast, hopefully get a workout in because it is the new year and I have to stick to my goals. Go about my day, drive to work in a nice, newer car, come home at night, be with the person I love, call my mom, my sister, my niece. I'm not going to be fucking knee-deep in cobalt mine dust, whatever the fuck it is. It's disgusting. It's terrible. And the fact that right now at this, time zone, excluded, not thinking about what time it is, but right now on this planet, there's literally slave labor making the thing I'm recording this with. Every piece of what I'm recording this with, this microphone, the phone that's filming this, the computer that's recording the audio, it's all due to slave labor. It's fucked up. It's terrible. I don't know the answer. I don't know how to stop it. I guess awareness would be one thing. Spread awareness because, we cancel people for things they say, and we don't. Come on. What are we doing here? Unbelievable. And it makes you feel really hypocritical. I feel really hypocritical after just saying that and then looking around my room and seeing 10 Apple products. It's fucked up. I don't know the answer because it's not like, oh, just buy this other brand. They do it too. They use it too. It's fucked up through and through. I've swore more in this episode than any other episode. I think because I'm really honing in on my skills of being as transparent as possible. Because I want this to be a normal conversation that I would have with someone, not act like I am some broadcaster or some shit. No one likes that shit. It's annoying. It's played out. Anyways, I do have to watch my mouth a little. It's sad and disgusting, but just looking at it through the lens of mental health and self-help and motivation, there are human beings who suffer every day. And I live a privileged fucking life. And yet somehow I find a way to complain. And there you go. There's another New Year's resolution. Stop fucking complaining. I have no right. I've been through shit in my life that's been really hard, really difficult. It's made me a better person. And that's not to say that those issues don't matter, but what the fuck am I complaining about? What am I so upset about? You know? It's crazy. It's crazy. Really take a second to think about the fact that right now there are women and children and men as well, but the most innocent and weakest among us are being tortured daily, working slave labor to give us most of the things we use every day. It's fucking crazy. It's terrible. I really pray that people who have the resources can actually do something to change it. I feel pretty helpless as far as what the hell I can do. At least talk about it a little. And then again, relating it back to your mental health, you have no fucking excuse. And that's not to say that, again, it's this tough back and forth that people who care about mental health go through, I think, or at least for me. It's easy to say, like, you have nothing to complain about, suck it up. I'm not necessarily saying suck it up. I'm not saying ignore your issues and push forward. What I'm saying is put your issues into perspective. Because there's a whole lot worse going on in this world than what you're dealing with. And the second you can really, really understand that, not just think about it and be like, yeah, it's sad. Really, really, really grasp that concept that there is so much worse going on than what you're dealing with. It helps put your issues into perspective, and you realize, wow, I have no reason not to overcome this. Again, not downplaying what you're going through. We all deal with our own shit, and to us, it seems like the biggest problem in the world. But a little perspective shifts can go a long way. I promise you. It's helped me immensely. And I hope it helps you. And I hope that somehow we can help those people who are the ones dealing with way worse things than we are. 38 minutes of straight piss and vinegar. I came out hot. It's been a while since I've spoken to myself. Also going forward, every episode will be plus or minus 5 minutes of an hour. Not today. Not today. I started late. Jets lost. Got mad. All that stuff. I want to do a little show and tell. I guess. I don't know what else to call it. This is the... I was going to say best gift. I don't want to say best gift because that would downplay other things that other people got me this year, which not that gifts matter, but I got a lot of really nice things from everyone. But this one means quite a bit, and it's from my niece, who's in 6th grade. And I don't want to speak out of school or say too much, but I don't think they would mind, and I think that it's an important thing. Speaking of people go through harder things. She lost her dad recently, a year or two ago. And even before that, for certain circumstances, he was not a huge part of her life. Not for not loving her, not for not caring, but he just had a real tough go of it for a long time. And, from an early age, she really didn't have him in her life the way she deserved, or the way he deserved, really, deep down. Because he had such a bright soul and such a bright heart. And that's just, this is a mental health podcast. That's one of the tragedies of this world, is that people who mean well, people who have good intentions somewhere in them, can't get them out because of certain decisions they make, certain pitfalls that they fall victim to. And it's really sad. And it affects a lot of people, not just them. My niece, my lovely, incredible niece being one of them. And because of all that, I was lucky and blessed enough to be such a huge part of her growing up in some really formative years. Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, those kind of years. And, my mom works nights, so grandma couldn't do it. My sister worked early in the morning, so there would be times where she couldn't do it. So I would make her breakfast, do her hair, get her on the bus, go about my lackadaisical fucking fake lifestyle that I had the last couple of years in Rochester was. And I loved it, even if it meant getting up hungover in those days, getting up earlier than I ever would have chosen to. Prying her out of bed, being goofy with her in the morning so that she would get up and go to school and stuff. I say all this to say, that meant the world to me. And I love her. I love all my nieces and nephews, but I definitely have a more significant relationship with her because of these years. And she was a kid. And you don't know, I'm getting all choked up. You don't know necessarily if you're having the effect on the person the way they're having an effect on you. And she's always been so smart and so well behaved and just such a good kid, cute as hell. And that meant the world to me, to be able to be in a position in her life, to be a positive male figure, to be the fun uncle, but also have those deep conversations, kind of poke and prod and question, and help her to expand her thought process and her mind, even at a young age, because she was capable of that. But anyways, I cherished that time so much. And you don't know, she's a kid, you don't know how it affects them. And we still have such a close relationship, but I never knew necessarily what it meant to her. And this gift she's an incredible poet. If you heard the EP, that was her, it was a poem on art of design. She will have a poem on every project I release from now until the end of time. But she's an incredible poet. She's a great writer, great artist, drawing and all that stuff. And so this is a lyric book she got me. On the front, I don't know if you could see it, it says, Frank's lyrics yet to be written. Very sweet. But when you open it, it says, lyrics yet to be written and a message from me to you. I'm going to read it. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if you'll get the same effect that it had on me, but I bawled my eyes out on Christmas Day. This would have been better to do next week when I have the mic set up and all that, but we're gonna figure it out. We used to sing disclaimer. We used to sing this song called "Chocolate Chip Waffle," and it was loosely based on the Krusty Krab pizza song. Not gonna lie, kind of stole the rhythm of it. But me and her would hold hands in the morning and dance around in a circle and sing, chocolate chip waffle, you're my favorite waffle. Chocolate chip waffle, you are good for me. So that's important context, I suppose. A message to you. A fresh batter scent overtook the small kitchen Grammy always complained about the size of. A filling aroma engulfing everything in its path. Little me figured it could mend every crack in a broken heart with how much care was poured into its core. But wait, it's not actually fresh because that smell was just frozen Eggo waffles. Oh well. It tasted pretty incredible to me anyway. And that smell, that feeling, resurfaced every morning with the soft chocolate chips embedded in every bite. The sleepy sun would begrudgingly rise, as I similarly had. I didn't feel like going to kindergarten again. I just wanted to stay with you. It emitted its gentle amber glow, reflecting its buttery beam onto the waffles you made for me. So I tiredly chomped down those syrupy goods, my crooked teeth not getting in the way of me enjoying breakfast with you. I wouldn't let anything do that, not even an underbite. You tried to do my hair, and it probably wasn't the best. But it was you who styled it, so I liked it anyway. I put on an oversized bright pink coat because, God, was it freezing outside in Rochester in those autumn 2015 mornings. And I got on the school bus. With a frown, I drive off dead-end Daytona and pass by the rickety swing sets near our house, thinking of how boring school was going to be and how much more fun it would be to just hang out with you. Through my disappointment, though, the taste of those waffles never really left my mind. Although I will acknowledge the true culinary astonishment they were in spirit, I didn't think about it back then because of the art itself, but because of the artist behind it. I just loved them so much because you made them, and because I got to eat them with you, like how you brushed my hair, and how I got to watch you try and comb through that rat's nest. What's a waffle when there's no one around to spread its joy to? I'd call that a pretty sad waffle, but I definitely was never one of those. You always made me the happiest waffle a waffle could ever be. And I might not ever be able to return that favor, but I hope that somehow, someday, I could make you a pretty happy waffle too. But I can't cut things and would probably drown you in syrup, so you're on your own with that one. Whew. I held back a couple. Upon first reading that, I literally sobbed my eyes out. First of all, how incredible. She's a kid. She wrote that. She's 12 years old. But again, just hearing that from a child and seeing any slight impact I might have had on someone who's going to grow up to be such an amazing person, it's just like proof that we don't know the impact that we have on each other, especially our youth, for certain, but adults as well. We don't even have the faintest idea of the impact that we have on each other and how important it is to try to spread joy and love and light to everyone we come in contact with. And I know it's played out and cliche, but that stuff is contagious. It really is. Being kind to people is contagious. Being a good person, doing the right thing in any given moment that you can is contagious. And man, oh man, there are a lot more important issues in the world for sure. And sometimes that might trivialize something like being kind or being polite and respectful and helpful, lending a hand. But that's a very small thing you can do to improve this world, 100%. And that poem has its own sentimental value to me, but just to apply it to a broader subject that could, impact your life or anyone else's life is just, we really don't understand the impact that we have on people. And being a good person is so important. And I'm really happy and lucky and blessed that I had the ability to have any sort of impact, luckily a positive one, on someone as special to me as my niece. And she has been dealt a very wacky hand in life. There are things that she never deserved to go through that she's gone through. And yet she's as amazing as it gets. And I'm so proud of her, and I love her so much. I'm not going to cry on here. That's too much. I mean, I want you to be vulnerable with your feelings and all that. It's important, but I don't need to cry in here. I don't want anyone else to cry. I couldn't be that. I think you can understand now why I said I cried when I read that. It just meant the world to me. Yeah, she's a really special young lady, and I'm glad that I got to be a special part of her special life. And again, you just don't know. You don't even realize the impact that something silly. I mean, I knew that it was a good thing that I was around during that time period, and I purposely tried to use every moment I had with her to be a good influence and make her life better, make her happy. But I don't think consciously I thought that chocolate chip waffle song would last years later and mean what it did. And I don't think we realized that our negative interactions with people also have a lasting effect and a lasting impact. So why wouldn't you try to make it a positive one? Just like I talked about on the last episode before the holidays. You might only meet someone one time. Why wouldn't you want that one interaction to be good? And if you take that same energy and apply it to your own relationships as well, though. My message this year for myself, for my partner, for my family, my friends, and anyone listening to this is choose happiness. In any given moment, in any given situation, even when it seems impossible, choose happiness. You got one life to live. You might only have one interaction with that person. Why would you let them get you down, first of all? And why would you put yourself in a position to get them down? Choose happiness. Even in a situation where it doesn't seem like an option, choose happiness anyway. And I promise it will improve your mental health and improve your life vastly by choosing to be happy. It might not seem like a choice always, but I really, truly believe that it can be. Get into an argument with someone, realize it in that moment, and realize, whoa, what the fuck are we doing? Choose happiness. Be happy. Just be happy. You're alive. You're breathing. There's air in your lungs. There's no time for sadness or resentment. Even though it seems really difficult at times, choose happiness. Don't let anyone else control your own destiny, your life, your given moment. Choose happiness. Just be happy. I'm not saying just ignore your problems. Confront your problems head on. Do that self-inventory I always talk about. Mental inventory of what you have going on, what things you do need to improve, what things you do need to change. But even in those moments, it is always possible to choose happiness. So I implore you to do that. And it rubs off on other people. And it makes it easier for other people to choose happiness. And I'm not waving my palms and saying like world peace or that, there's a lot of negativity and evil in the world. But if you listen to this or see this, for your life, I just want you to be happy. And I just want to be happy. And I think 99.999% of people just want to be happy. And I'm here to tell you today that I really think that pretty much every moment you have the ability to choose happiness and kindness and compassion and caring, doing the right thing, opening the door for people, putting your fucking shopping cart back. Just choose happiness, and the rest will fall into place. And it'll help you with your goals and your aspirations as well. Because if you're choosing happiness, and there's two paths diverging, and it seems a lot easier to choose happiness on one of those paths than the other. Pretty clear answer right in front of you. So that's my message to you. And that's my last New Year's resolution. And I did pretty good because we're at about 52 minutes. And that sounds about perfect for the first episode of 2023. Woo! I got to remember I got this. You got to remember you got this. And if not, we got this. We got this together. Happy New Year. Hope you made it through the holidays in one piece. Listen, it's the beginning of a new chapter. Every new year is a new chapter. Every new day is a new chapter. Don't get too caught up on what you're going to get done this year because you got time. Don't put it off, but you got time. It's all about the end game, the long goals. But this year, I hope you get done what you need to get done this year in each moment that you have this year. Best of luck on your resolutions. I know it's hard to stick to them. I know I'm going to try my best. Lose a little weight, quit the stupid vape thing, be more consistent, and choose happiness. Like I said, I got this. You got this. We got this. See you next week. Maybe a new set, better quality and stuff, but see you next week. Peace out. Share, like, subscribe, comment. Just kidding. Don't do that stuff. Actually, please do it, but I didn't mean to say it. But all right. See you next week. Peace out. Happy holidays.